And I'm like that because of how I grew up, bro. There's a lot of situations where if I wasn't paying attention to every detail, it could have cost me my life. Bunch of nice people. Worked with a whole lot of women. I was the only man there. Let me get the mic a little closer. They hate when you come to work, do your job, go home. And that's it, Chad. So look, man, I had to go ahead and just hop in here and tell this story, bro. I had saw a bunch of these videos like what, a year ago, a couple months ago, whatever, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to make one, bro. I've been on the producer. Yeah, I do make music. That's it. Might talk about it later. Why not? Let's get a little descriptive, right? We kind of spoke about the situation, right? Let's describe the situation. Okay. So, like I said, Chad, I'm going to talk to you guys about a job I had worked a bit ago where I was a CYPA. Okay, let me get the mic a little closer, right? Hopefully my breath ain't straight smacking it, right? Don't have a pop filter. If you know, you know. Don't have one on here. All right, we're getting to the story. So look, man, it's back in the day when I was real deep in some stuff, right? Got lucky, got this cool job as a CYPA. What is that, right? Child Youth Program Assistant. Used to work with kids. Bunch of nice people. Worked with a whole lot of women. I was the only man there. So even with that being said, right? I know your mind probably like, with that being said, yes, there was a whole lot of drama, right? I didn't start any of it. I promise you. I really didn't. Okay. I'm there doing just like the title. They hate when you come to work, do your job, and that's it. So like I said, I onboarded with the company. I'm not gonna tell y'all the official company, right? I can't, bro. I can't, bro. It's top secret, bro. I'm gonna just tell y'all this, bro. I had onboarded with the company and stuff, right? It was cool. I had got there with like the first batch of people, I guess, right? Like it was probably like me and like 3 to like 5 other people that came on, right? Like I said, all women, very nice people, man. Very nice. Like when I first started, and that's probably how it is for a lot of people, right? But when I first started, everybody's super nice, right? Smile in your face. Hey, what's your cool, right? So look, I'm doing my job for a minute, bro. Right? I probably was there like a month, probably a little over that, right? I'm gonna say this, right? I'm already saying too much, right? But with that job, right, you got to go through a background check, right? You have a red shirt, which means you're still undergoing that background. And then you have the green, which means you're good, right? And when you have the green, that pretty much means you can like fully work now, right? Like if you had the red shirt, you're kind of as needed or whatever, right? But with the green shirt, like I said, you're cleared to be in the rooms with the kids and stuff pretty much as they, want to utilize you, right? Or can or whatever, right? Whatever hours you got set up or whatever. Cool, right? So the first hold up I had, right? I had this training where I had to like pretty much like go through all the different rooms with the, toddlers, preschoolers, infants, all those different kids, right? So, like I said, I did that. If you ask me, I did a pretty good job. You feel me? I'm not gonna lie, bro, because I'm one of those people, bro. And a lot of y'all probably gonna relate to me for real when I say this, man. But I'm very much a attention to detail type of person, bro. And I'm like that because of how I grew up, bro. There's a lot of situations where if I wasn't paying attention to every detail, it could have cost me my life. So I do kind of like treat life in a way like that as well. You could maybe say like it's a survival thing in a sense, right? But even when you look at animals, right, and they have those different little instincts or whatever, right? They're not doing a lot of thinking, right? It's just instinct, right? But like I said, that's besides the point, right? But like I said, I had a hold over my training, right? Basically because they was holding me, chat. They was holding. So look, bro, they was mad because I had to use the bathroom. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys something. Back in the day, I didn't know how to cook like that. So I had to learn how to cook, right? So during this time, I had just, got on my own or whatever. My mom kicked me out. I didn't have nowhere to go, right? Stayed with my homie for like a weekend, right? Was finna be homeless, but Luckily, I had enough money saved where I was able to get that first crib, and I made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Made it happen, bro. But like I said, this was like I was working this job during that as well. So, like I said, that had happened, right? And pretty much, like I said, she held me up on my training because I had to use the bathroom, right? I was eating out a lot. My diet was not healthy, not too healthy, right? Because I didn't have time, you know. And I didn't know how to cook either. I could have learned or whatever, but like I said, I'm at work all day. They got me coming back. They got me working split shifts. You feel me? I gotta go there, work 4 or 6 hours, come home an hour or two, go back, work another four, whatever hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I said, I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not gonna say too much, man. But like I said, they had held me up on my training because I had to use the bathroom here and there, right? Stomped up. Not gonna say too much about it, right? That was just a situation, right? So basically, fast forward another month or two, right? Every single person got their green shirt except me. And remember, Chad, the only thing holding you back from the green shirt is your background. I have no record. Okay, Chad. So with that being said, that made zero sense to me. I know it's gonna come back good because I handle business. You feel me? So with that being said, that was very strange to me. You feel me? So like I said, that's the first like red flag, right? Because I'm like, bro, how would take this one? And I'm steady asking them, right? Like I'm not just like, oh, what? Like nah, I'm checking in, I'm tapping in. So like I said, that was the first thing, right? Then I start asking them, right? What's holding it up, right? With the trainer or whatever, and she like I guess she said like I did like a certain shirt or parts wrong or so, like bro, I didn't do it wrong. It's very hard to get it wrong. You're right there in person. They're doing it in your face, right? So it's like it didn't make sense. It's like one of those tests you go take a test and you got the whole freaking answer or the whole class share, like bro it's bro, you ever took you a training test at work or something and one of your coworkers right there giving you all the answers or they're offering to give you all the answers? Yeah, it was a situation like that, right? So that made zero sense, right? Not only that, right? But like I said, I was stomped up. My diet was not good, right? And that, you could see that somewhat, right? Like I said, my energy and everything was cool, but I had to use the bathroom when I had to use it, right? And I'm not trying to go to work with, you know, some between my cheeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, bro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, bro, I had to talk to the lady about it, bro. I'm over here talking with a lady. She over here talking about, oh yeah, we're taking some of your pay out from you using the bath. And as soon as she said that, I was like, what do you need? Because you taking my pay, like no disrespect, ma'am, but you taking my pay away. I'm really using the bathroom. And then she gonna say, oh, I don't know what you're doing in there, and this. I'm like, ma'am, are you serious? Where at work? Where at work? So she said that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So like I said, what do you need? She's like, oh, I need documentation. Cool. So look, bro, I didn't go to work probably for like a day or two. Came back.